Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. Welcome to our latest episode.
Yes, and today we are going to be talking about some of the common terms that you might hear people refer to in manifesting groups and forums online. And this is just to give you a little idea because I know we might refer to something with an acronym and you might be like, wait, what is that? What is a BBL? What is an SP? So we're going to talk about some of those terms so that you know what we're referring to when we get to them.
Exactly. And we'll also kind of share a little bit about what they are.
Definitely. So I know in an earlier video, I think it was our second video, we talked about everyone is you pushed out. That is often used with an acronym EIYPO. Everyone is you pushed out. And that basically just means that people are a reflection of your beliefs. It could be your beliefs about that specific person. It could be your beliefs about people in general. It could even be your beliefs about yourself. One of the things that I think is really cool about everyone is you pushed out is when I'm really focused on a specific area in my life, and it could be something that I'm working on emotionally, or it could just be something that I'm working on in general. I often see it reflected to me and the people around me. Like I was with a friend today and I was talking about he was talking about a very specific experience that he had. And I was like, well, you are me pushed out because I've been working on this specific experience. So that's another way that everyone is you pushed out works, is that once you become conscious of something, you're going to see it a lot in the world around you, but also in the people around you.
Exactly. Another term that people use in the manifesting or conscious creation communities are BBL, and that stands for Birds Before Land. And what that means is if you are manifesting, so a very common thing for people to manifest are SPs, which we'll talk about in a minute, but they're trying to manifest a specific person, and they will manifest it partially, so they might get contact from somebody, but they don't get the full manifestation. They call that Birds Before Land, and that basically just means that you're about to receive the full manifestation and to persist and keep going because you're on the right track, basically.
Yes. So here's what I love about Birds Before Land. Oh, so to go back to the source, Florence Scovel Shinn is a law of attraction author, and she was the one, I believe, the first one to write about birds before land. And the analogy is that when sailors were at sea, they knew that the land was close, not because they saw the land, but because they saw the birds. And the way that this applies in manifesting is when you're really focused on a specific outcome or getting a specific thing, you're going to, maybe not always, but a lot of times you're going to see signs of it in the people around you before you actually get it. So here's a really cool story that I want to share. So for a brief period during COVID, I worked at a car dealership. And at this time, everybody had to wear masks. And I had this very specific mask that I loved that I actually got from when I worked at Starbucks as a barista. And I love this mask because it was like super stretchy and soft. It was just like one single piece of fabric. I loved it, but I lost it. And I was kind of bummed that I lost it because I didn't like any of the other masks. I wanted my mask.
I remember when that happened.
I was manifesting that I found my mask. And I just remember thinking, oh, I'm so happy that I found my mask, and imagined having it again. And one day I'm at the dealership and my customer walks in and he's wearing the black mask. And I was like, hi, I'm Sue. And I was like, do you work at Starbucks? And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like, I had one of those masks. Okay, so here's what happened. I sold him a car, go me. But also when I'm cleaning out his glove box, which I don't normally do when I sell cars, but in this case, I was cleaning out his glove box and I open it up and there's like 20 of these black masks. And I'm like, am I supposed to take one of these? Is this my manifestation? I'm like, no, I don't steal. So I put them in his new car for him, in his new glove box, did not take one of his masks. But for me, I was like, okay, I'm definitely getting my mask back because that's Birds Before Land. And sure enough, within a couple days, I find my mask.
Nice. That's awesome. I remember when that happened.
But like, so that's one example. And I love that story because I was like, it just made me so excited because I'm like, for sure it's happening because I see the proof. And you could say, yeah, your mask was in your apartment the whole time, Sue. Well, yeah, but I searched my entire apartment. Because I manifested it, I shifted to the reality where it actually was in my apartment again.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. And I love that story because you really truly believed.
Yeah.
Like you knew. And again, as we've said in previous episodes, that it all comes down to what you believe. If you believe you can do it, then you can. I think you did the same thing with one of your running socks.
Yes. Yeah. I find a lot of lost things that way. I'm not going to lie. Well, nothing is ever lost or stolen, right?
Exactly. And I was just about to tell you that I had one time I lost my wallet and I needed it. I needed my driver's license for something. And I couldn't find it anywhere. And I searched my entire house. I had been at my mother's house. I searched her house. I went to my office. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was so frustrated because I'm like, I know I just had it and I thought it was stolen. And I called you and I'm like freaking out that I can't find it. And you're like, no, nothing's ever lost or stolen. And so I took on that belief. I'm like, nothing I have is ever lost or stolen. Nothing is. And I think it was a day and a half later, I was in my office and it had slid down behind something. And that was where I found it. And so because I believed that nothing is ever lost or stolen, it wasn't lost or stolen. It was right in my office. And I had checked. It was funny because I did actually check in that one spot where it had slid down. Like it was behind a box of files. And I had checked, like I moved everything and it hadn't been there. And then all of a sudden I find it and I was so excited. But I knew, like I really truly believed nothing is ever lost or stolen. And since I took on that belief, I've never, like if something is misplaced, it's never for more than a day or two.
Nice. I could talk about recovering lost things all day. I do want to share one more story before we move on. So this one I think is even cooler because something reappeared in a place it shouldn't have.
Oh, cool.
So I stopped drinking for a while and I had these tokens. So if you've ever gone to AA or you know someone who has, you may have seen the tokens that they give you. Like there's a 24-hour token, a 1-month token, a 2-month token. So I had my 24-hour token and it was in my pocket. And one day I was pulling something out of my pocket and the token, I was in my car and the token slipped out of my pocket and it fell down into the space between my car and the console. And I did stick my hand down there and try to feel around for it, but I couldn't reach it or I couldn't find it or whatever. So I just gave up. I didn't have the time to deal with it. I was like, yeah, I'll get it later, whatever. But and again, it wasn't lost. It was in my car the entire time. But I never looked for it again. I just assumed I would have it again. And one day I'm coming out of a restaurant and I get into my car and the token is lying on the seat, on the car seat in the, like there's no way that it was there because this was days later. I'd been in and out of my car several times. It was not there before. It had fell down underneath. And so it was just sitting there and I was just
That's
like, yep.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Anyway, back to our topic. We were going to talk about more terms in manifesting. So what's an SP?
An SP, as you've heard us say numerous times throughout the episodes and even in this one, is a specific person. It does not have to be a love interest. Most people who have a specific person, it's typically somebody that they have a crush on, an ex, or somebody that they want to date. It could even be a celebrity, but it could be a friend. It could be coworkers. It could be anybody. It's a specific person. Just typically people will name somebody that they want to be with in a relationship, typically a romantic relationship, as an SP.
Yes. SP, specific person. I think you covered it perfectly. It's just another way of saying everyone is you pushed out. Mm-hmm. SP, though, refers to a very specific person that you're manifesting. So instead of saying like, I'm manifesting my dream husband, you might say, this guy is my dream husband, or I'm this person's wife, or whatever. So it's referring to a specific person. And again, it can be anyone. I have manifested changes in many different people, some of them romantic, some of them friends, some of them family. And it's really interesting how I love the SP topic, because on one hand, like, you can have such powerful evidence with one person, and then another person, it's like, change.
Exactly.
But I've always had some degree of success with every person that I've attempted to manifest specific people with. And so I guess something that we should address, because it is important on the topic of SPs, is the issue of free will. So some people might think, oh, you can't change another person, or you shouldn't change another person because everybody has free will. Well, I'm sorry, but no. Because you're God, and whether you want to change other people or not, you're always manifesting them just by your beliefs about them.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter whether they have free will or not. They're always going to live up to your beliefs. And so if you don't like the way that they're showing up in your reality, you change your beliefs about that person. And what you're doing is you're shifting to the reality where that person is that way. You're not changing anything about them. You're shifting your reality by changing your beliefs. You're becoming conscious of a different version of that person, or a different version of you.
Don't forget, too, in their life and in their reality, they have the free will. It's just not in yours.
Right. They just start thinking, oh, Sue is so great, I want to be with her.
Exactly. And it's funny because we talk about this all the time is, I love Sue to pieces. She's like my BFF. And she is exactly how I decide for her to be. We absolutely love and adore each other.
It's so true.
And she does the same thing with me. Like, I have to conform to how she's
so good at conforming to. I love it.
Try.
All right. So, any other terms? We have 3D, 4D, 5D.
Tell us about what those mean.
Okay. So 3D obviously is short for three-dimensional, or three dimensions. When used in manifesting terms, it basically means the world around you, or the current reality that you're living in. In the reality shifting community, they would refer to your CR, which is current reality, your DR, which is your dream reality, and WR, which is a waiting room, which is, it's basically where you wait to get to your dream reality. I don't think any of that's necessary, but but I actually haven't really explored that area much. It's basically just shifting realities. So 3D is the world around you, your current reality, how you perceive things to be right now in this moment. And 4D or 5D refers to the world in your imagination. So what you imagine to be true, or what you tell yourself, or your subconscious beliefs that are running around right now. Like all of the thoughts and all of the words that you speak are the 4D. So everything that you are putting into the world as your beliefs and your thoughts is the 4D. And the great thing, or the 5D, I don't know why there's 4, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. Michio Kaku, I have a book by him over here somewhere. This one. He's wrote a lot about books. I think he says that there's 10 dimensions.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know. I don't know how he would know unless he's been to all of them. How that works. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that the 4D or 5D, your imagination that's creating your reality, changes in a second. Mm-hmm. And so the 3D, the world around you, may change very quickly. It may not, you may not see that it's changed quickly. And so you need to persist in the 4D to get the 3D to match the 4D. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So basically the 3D, as we said before, is a mirror of you, your thoughts, the 4D or the 5D.
Exactly. That's so true. And I like to think of when you're trying to manifest a new reality, that it's as simple as if you're in the kitchen and you want to go to the bedroom, what do? You walk into the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stand in the kitchen and go, I wish I could get to the bedroom. I really wish I was in the bedroom right now. You walk into the bedroom. So it's kind of similar concept with shifting into a new reality or changing the reality that you're currently in, is you just decide it.
That's a great technique, and we'll talk about that very soon. For
Yes.
Sure. I love that. Yeah.
Thanks.
There's a very similar technique, and I don't know if it was Neville. I think it might have been Neville. But there's a technique where you imagine a hallway with many doors, right?
Yes.
And you basically leave the room that you're in now, and you walk to the door that has your dream reality behind it, and you open that door and you walk in. So it's exactly what you were saying. So that's great.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there are any other terms that come up in manifesting that I think that we should cover, because
I'm sure we're probably missing at least one.
Well, this video's been on the longer side, so we'll stop there, and when new terms come up in future videos, we will address them at that time.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for watching and listening. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment.
And don't forget, go manifest that dream life.